So me unboxing the Canyon. Give it a go. Scissors. Box goodies. The box. So yeah, looks pretty cool. That's what you get. Take it out of the box now. That's what it looks like. Guard. That's my invoice. Got it pretty well. Everything's kind of strapped in pretty tightly to protect stuff. There's a handlebar, seat post. Nice new and shiny components. It's the first time I've seen these DC Swiss R24s. So yeah, looks pretty nice. Picking up. There we go. So I'm going to put this together now, and let's see how we get on. Right. So shall I take off first? Take off the seat post. Pretty nice. You can pick that up. Seat post. It's got the VLS system on there. Actually, it's got some, feels quite grippy here as well. So there's a seat post. Next I'll get the wheel. That's the first wheel. So that'll be the front. Nice grippy tyres on there, and these are the Continental, what are they called? These are the Grand Prix 4000S 2s. I think they're the Chili compound. Yeah, the wheel feels really solid. Actually pumped up to quite a decent PSI actually. Feels probably about 100. So I'll just pop that to one side. And then, yeah, we'll unwrap the rest. Protection, I can use that for later, I guess. And there. section of him. Here we've got the handlebars. So far so good. So do a close up of what we got so far. So we've got the wheel, which I've taken off all the other bits and bobs. This is obviously showing the frame. We're going to pop that up in a minute, and then we're going to install the handlebars and then pop on the first wheel. So give that a go in a minute. You should put veggie creams on your wheel. Yeah, I can do. Right, gonna try and put the wheel on. So, haven't done this before. Quite interesting. How this will work. What's the best way? Let's just try and put it on. Guard is already off, I believe. Yep, guard is already off. Okay. So that's in, and then I just need to put the axle through it in a minute. Next stage, I'm going to be putting on the handlebars. So just do all these first, and then I'll put a bit of grease on them as well afterwards. It's quite tight, these ones actually already, even though I'm trying to tighten them. So that's interesting. Obviously they don't want it to fall off in transit, which is very important. Okay, so before I put the seat post, put the handlebar on, I'm going to go get some grip. Hang on. This is kind of cool. The box, probably got all the goodies in. I'll do video with one hand. There we go, so that's what comes with it. All sorts of stuff, so all the calipers, I guess. Reflectives of some sort. Manuals. Oh, what's this? Haven't seen this one before. Ah, interesting. For my hair, you get a bell. And obviously the tool, which is very important. I think it's the same one that I got previously with my other Endurace. So I'm going to try and find the paste. This is probably the manual. Sorry for my bad footage, but yeah, that's the manual. And there's the tape. There's the assembly paste. That picks it up. Nope, doesn't want to pick up. There we go. Great. So I'm going to apply this onto the handlebars and also to the seat post. So let's give that a go. So got the assembly paste and going to put the handlebars on, And then after that, I'm going to put the seat post. It's very nice, this one's very different. It's Aliante. Shape is very different compared to my other seat, which is also a Physique. But yeah, no, I think this is a newer design seat post, and it's also got the Canyon logo on it, which is quite nice. It's a nice touch. But yeah, let's see how that goes. I'm going to put some paste on, and then yeah, see how it goes really. So here goes. So hopefully I can pick you up. Paste. So I've kind of undone some of the bolts here already, so it might be a bit fidgety, but should be okay. I think these have already got a bit of Loctite on them, which is nice. So I've done 3 bolts off, and then now I'm going to apply the paste to the underside of that and on the inside of this as well. So let's just apply some paste. It's a little bit gritty. I don't think we need to apply too much. Okay, and then get the Allen keys. This thing that they give to you. So what I need to do is centre this out a little bit at least, and then clamp it in. It's a little bit fidgety, and actually I should have just taken the whole lot off, so take the last one off. And it's quite a nice touch this time. They've actually put Canyon logo. I don't know if you can see. Probably hard to pick up, but little Canyon logo. It's kind of quite cool. And a line which actually gives you an indication of whether your line is straight or not, which is very, very useful indeed. So it gives you an idea of how centered you are, etc., which is kind of cool. Not the nicest of sounds, but a little bit grippy. Okay, so let's get these in as best we can. I think I might have to switch these handlebars because they're a little bit smaller than I'm used to. I'm usually a 440 cm and these come in 400, I think, so slightly smaller than what I'm used to, but nonetheless I've requested a replacement, and Canyon will be sending out a replacement. And what you need to do basically is let them know. They'll charge you, and basically you just send them back the handlebar as a replace of what you currently have. So that's why I don't want to over tighten this too much, and then when the other handlebar comes in, you just basically replace it, send it back to them in unused form, I guess, and then you get the right handlebar really. So I'm going to tighten that up in a minute, and then I'm going to put the seat post in next. So yeah, I'm going to put some more of this on the inside, all around, and this basically gives it a nice grip. That's something that I didn't actually do on my previous bike, and I do regret that because I didn't put this on until maybe my second ride, and I was a bit hesitant in sort of tightening up. So what happened was I ended up having a seat post slippage. I'll have to calibrate that a little bit later, but probably a little bit lower will probably be about right for me. Yeah, it's looking quite nice, looking pretty decent. Let's see if I can get this properly. So I'm going to tighten everything up, and then I'm going to put the pedals on next, and then take away the guard from here. I'm going to cut that off in a minute. So yeah, the next step will be tightening everything up, getting it to the right measurements, and then I'll put all my additional extras such as my drinks holders, and you know, really important, your pump and all the other bits and bobs that come with it when you go riding. So yeah, next step, I'm going to do that now. Hang on. So that's in, somewhat level and stuff, but gonna have to play with it a little bit more. What I haven't put on is the skewer on here, so it was a bit loose and I forgot about that. So I'm just going to put that in now. It should be fairly straightforward. So that's the skewer. Just going to pop it in. Should be fairly straightforward. And then I'll need to tighten it up. Ended up pressing stop by accident. So it's in, and then I'm just tightening up. And then I believe you have to tighten it up again with an Allen key. So I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, it looks like it's going to go further in. I'm going to screw that in a minute. Seat is in and everything like that. So next step is to add the pedals, and then after that I'm going to re-tighten everything with the tool that they give you. So that should hopefully work out alright, I guess, this sort of torque. Does it pick up? No. Okay, anyway, you simply use it by looking at the gauge at the end here, and then you can tighten it up. So I'm going to do that now. So I've put the pedals on. These are just standard SPD ones that I use for my commute. When I do longer rides, I guess I will change them onto SLs. Pop the skewer in, so it's in now, and yeah, it's checking out. Nice new shiny shifters. Nice Shimano. They're very this time around they're very slippery. With the older ones you'd feel a little bit more grain kind of feel to it. So yeah, I'm sure I'll get used to it. I usually ride with gloves, so not too bad. So I'm going to fit my drink holders in them in a minute. So they should pop in like that, look quite nice. on either side, and then my pump mount on there as well. So I want to fit that in now, and then should be good to go after that. Yeah, I need to do this last bolt here for the seat post, but I just quickly need to just get all my measurements and stuff arranged, and then you know, how much setback or whatever I need for that. I'll probably need to play with the stem at some point on a weekend, but apart from that, I'm going to pop it all together now and then going to go for a ride, even though it is getting dark outside. But yeah, come back in a minute. So I've put everything together: pedals, pump, water bottle holders, taking off the cage for the brake. Just going to do a last minute tightening up of everything, just making sure that the torque is about right. My seat looks about right, but I just need to measure the distance between this point and actually the cockpit, see if it's in the right position. I believe tip to the saddle to the levers should be about 66 centimeters, so I'm going to measure that up in a minute, make sure that the height and everything is about right. Then I'm going to go for a test ride, put some lights on and give it a go. I did squeeze the levers a little bit here, and I didn't realise they're just so soft. You know, the actual, you know, squeeze you need to give in order to actually lock the brake. So that's going to be something different that I'm not going to be used to, but see what happens. So yeah, last minute tightening, then I'll go for a cycle, and then we'll do a comparison with this bike and my old Endurace.